Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So guys, in this video I just want to share you my experience, what has happened to me, and I hope that this video can help you in being able to prevent the kind of injury that I had. And in case you may start having it, I'm gonna give you the tips to really make it better and to start training again. So very briefly, my story, what happened. Last August, so at the very last week of August, I was training triceps and chest. So I was doing like dips on bar, tricep extensions, and I just kept the tricep extensions for the very end. So I was very tired after doing like about 500 dips. I was quite tired, but I just decided to do them anyway. And what happened is that when you're tired, normally you tend to like flare up your elbows to really try to do the last rep, like the last 2 reps, to really push. And what happened to me is that while I was doing those reps, I started feeling a lot of pain in this point of the elbow. So pretty much this is the olecranos. So the bony thing that you can find here is the olecranos process of the ulna. So it's a bone that's gonna run in the forearm, so like this, all right? And this bone is quite important because this bone is going to just move and it's going to block, it's going to limit the extension of your arm because it's going to insert into the olecranos fossa on the humerus, all right? So right here. And the tricep tendon is going to run and it's going to pretty much attach on top of it. So pretty much here. So that's why the tricep is going to extend the elbow because the tendon is going to attach right here, all right? So that's how it is. And I really felt pain here, so in the medial side, so the side closer to the midline of your body, so right here. That's where I really have a lot of pain. What I thought, well, it's just a strain, or maybe I just strained too much, I was tired, I did maybe a movement wrong, and I just did the RICE protocol, so like rest, ice, compression, and elevation. So for 2 weeks and a half, I really didn't do any pushing exercises because I just I thought that the pain was due because of that, so over training. But the pain was not going away, and I really had pain though only in certain movements. For example, when I was holding my arm and I was holding it against resistance. So for example, I was holding like this, gravity was pulling me down, and I wanted to stay up, right? That was causing me pain. And every movement where I had my arm in front of my body and I was again like trying to extend the elbow against the resistance, I really felt pain right there. And but the problem was that when I tried to, like after 3 weeks that the pain didn't go off, I just thought, well, I cannot really continue like not training like the chest and triceps, right? I must try to do something. So I tried to do push-ups. And push-ups weren't really painful, so I just felt a little bit of discomfort, but I was pretty good to go. Then I tried dips and the same, I didn't feel any pain, like a little bit of discomfort but not really pain. The exercise that I couldn't really do was tricep extensions. Like every time that I tried even starting the movement, the pain was just unbearable. And well, end of the story, 2 months have passed, and I kept on like doing push-ups, the exercises that really trained my triceps and chest without really causing me pain. But the pain, I still had the pain. And until a physical therapist, I'm studying physical therapy, and I was with this woman that's very good at the job, and I just asked her out of the blue. I had a pain in my elbow for a couple of months, and I just explained to her where did it hurt, with which movements, and then she just, took my elbow, she pressed here, do you feel pain here? No. Here? No. No. And then she asked me, where do you feel pain? And I just pointed this insertion right here. It's very close to the bone. And then she said, okay, let's go to the wall. So we got to the wall. And imagine like this is the wall, and I was like this, right? And the movement that was causing me the most pain was trying to like having my weight upon, trying to do even the eccentric part was very painful. and that was the movement that was causing me pain. And so she told me, okay, when you do this movement you have pain, right? And I told her yes. So what if I do this? And she, with her hands, she grabbed the olecranos, okay, of the ulna. She just grabbed it, and then from here, so I had my arm extended, and then she told me, okay, now try to do the movement when you have pain. So I just went to do like a tricep extension, right? So just doing this. And while I was doing it, she really pulled my bone, and she pulled it towards the midline, so towards me. So I had my arm pretty much like this. She grabbed the bone and she pulled it like this while I was doing the movement. And I felt no pain. Zero. Do you know, like zero pain. After months of having pain or even trying to do the movement, it was the movement full range of motion, because I just got until like I almost had the face on the wall. No pain. Zero. And I was like astounded. Like I asked her, what did you do? And then she explained to me what happened. And hopefully this explanation can help any of you guys that have been doing calisthenics for months, years. Maybe you may want to start doing calisthenics. Maybe you've heard of calisthenics. Maybe you are someone that trains, goes to the gym and trains freely, so without really following any training programs or stuff like that. It doesn't matter. The explanation may help a lot of you to not develop this injury that I had. And the explanation is quite simply. She told me, you have been using your elbow too much with the forearm not moving correctly over the arm. So the olecranos, in this case the bone, not moving exactly like in the line of the elbow. So following the natural, the physiological line of the elbow. But you have been training it. I will try to show it to you with this arm there. So instead of training like this, so always extending like this, so this is the physiological line of the elbow, you have been training like this. So I don't know if you can see the difference, right? So you have been training a lot with your elbows going out, so flaring up the elbows, not following the correct line, but doing like this. So following a curved line towards the lateral part. And if you just think about it, like when you do push-ups, see when your elbows go out. You almost never have your elbows tucked in, right? You always have your elbows at least 45 degrees. When you do dips, the same. Elbows 45 degrees. The elbows never are tucked in. They're always a little bit wide. When you do a dips on bar, like this is the most the most eclatant example, like elbows flaring out. Even if you're trying to keep, you know, a correct posture, still you're training with this little bit of lateral movement of the ulna. Instead of training it correctly, you're training it like this. And tricep extensions is the worst, like this. So this is exactly the movement that caused me the pain. And she just told me that when that happens, you create this unbalance between lateral and medial. So the tricep has a medial head and has a lateral head, plus the long head. So what happens is that the lateral part of the muscle, because you're using it a lot laterally, the lateral tricep lateral head is gonna develop a lot, and it's gonna start being very strong. It's gonna start pulling the bone towards it, because the tendon, remember, is right here. So it's gonna start pulling the bone in that direction. And by doing so, by training a lot in this direction, you're also weakening the medial head. So the tendon is working in a bad leverage of the medial head, and so you have the lateral head that is pulling the bone. You have the medial head that is not strong enough to pull it again good. And so there is this imbalance between lateral and medial. And what happens is that until you don't really strain too much the tendons, you may have no pain. So for example, like I've been training for years and I've never had this kind of pain. But then, just even once that you train too much and you apply just too much pressure on the weaker tendon, so the medial head. Remember that I had pain in the medial part of the bone, so not right here, but here. That's where you start creating the pain and the injury, because now this tendon, because has been worked all that time in a bad leverage, has been weaker and weaker. It starts filling with water, and this acute event, this acute trauma that you cause to the tendon while while you are flaring your elbows too much because you're very tired, is gonna just cause the starting of the degenerative process. So now your tendon is gonna start filling with water. That's why taking fans is not gonna really help you. So taking non-steroids, anti-inflammatory medicals, it's not gonna help you, because there is no inflammation here. There is just a tendon that just fills with water, and by filling with water, it's gonna thicken, and by thickening, it's gonna compress the nerves, it's gonna compress the bones, it's gonna compress other structures, and that's why you have the pain. So the pain is derived by the fact that the tendon is compressing other structures. It's not the tendon itself that is feeling the pain. It's more the fact that the tendon is compressing other structures. And that's why she told me why I had pain in doing like extension of the triceps like this, and instead doing it like this. No, because just by changing my shoulder position, my hands position, my arms position, I just move the tendon a little bit, and if I move it and the tendon is not compressing anything, it's not gonna give me any pain. And yeah, that was my story. So for any of you guys that have been trained calisthenics or will train calisthenics or are like doing, they just like doing bodyweight exercises, I just want to remind you that it's alright like to do push-ups, dips, all that stuff. It's good, but always remember to incorporate at least once a week exercises to train the medial head. So turn your hands up, turn your hands like this, and really tuck your elbows in and go to train that medial head. Really try to really train it, and to always follow the physiological movement pattern of the elbow. And if you're too tired, just don't force to try to do like 1 or 2 reps more. Don't force it, because you may end up like me. So just, you know, take a resting time, stop, whatever, and don't overstrain the elbow in this way. So in case that by watching this video you may say, oh well, you know what, I have this same issue, I have this same pain right there or in that area, and I also have pain only when I do some exercises. When I do other exercises, I don't have any pain. Only, okay, if that's your case, then I want to show you here the exercise that the physical therapy gave me to start rehabilitating my elbow, start using it in the correct pattern, and start recuperating this medial head tendon, start rehabilitating it, and yeah. So the exercise is pretty much, I'm gonna just show it to you, yeah, just like here. All right, so imagine this is a wall and I'm standing. Right, the exercise is because you wanna keep your elbow in the correct pattern all the time, you have to like try to extend and externally rotate your shoulder, like not really externally rotating it, but really trying to bring the medial part of the elbow towards the other elbow. So like the two elbows must almost like kiss, like in terms of positioning. Then you place your arms on the wall, right? And then from here, you're really trying to do the eccentric part of the tricep extension. It may sound weird, but you have to do the exact movement that caused you the pain, but you have to do it slowly. You have to do it eccentrically, because in that way you give the correct stimulus to the body, and by doing it in the correct pattern, you can actually correct the process that's going on with the tendon, and you can make it healthy once again. So from here, so imagine again elbows kissing, just a little bit wide, you do the eccentric part with both arms at the same time. Right? Then when you reach the range of motion where you start feeling discomfort on the arm that it's affected, you just lift it off. Okay, so you don't push up, you just lift it off and you just push with your good arm up, and then you reset and you start again. Boom, reset, so you lift off your arm from the wall, push, and again, and so on, and you do it 15 times, so it's 15 reps, 3 times, doing it 4 times in a day. So you can do it once you wake up, like throughout the day, in the evening, before going to sleep. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you do it 4 times every day, like this. And then when you start like being able, like imagine here, no, right? So imagine I'm starting from this position. So this is a pretty high position, right? And I can do all the movement. So imagine I'm starting from here, right? And I can do this movement with no pain, right? Then when I can do all the eccentric part with no pain, I just move my arms down, right? And then I start again from here. So pretty much like this, down, 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 down. Here I have pain, so I'm going to lift up my arm, push with one, and then again. Down, 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 down. Pain, lifting off, and pushing. And when you have no more pain here, in the full range of motions until pretty much you touch the wall, you move your arms down, and then down, and down, and down. Remember, all the time, only the eccentric part, so only going down. Then just lift up your arm and push concentrically, push with your good arm. Then, when you can reach a pretty low position, so imagine like pretty much at this position, when you can do the eccentric part like this, with no pain, then you come up again here, and you start doing the eccentric and the concentric now. So, down and then up with both arms. When you don't have any pain like that, then you move a little lower, then a little lower, and so on. So it's gonna be a pretty long process. I think until the pain completely goes off, it's gonna be about like maybe 1.5 months, 2 months. But I can see like even after like one week and a half that I started doing this exercise, I can already see like I can already feel less pain. I can already feel like I'm recovering, I'm rehabilitating the elbow, I'm using it correctly. So yeah, that was the video, guys. That was my story. I hope that was helpful for any one of you that may have this issue or that may develop this issue if you continue to train wrongly and without really training the middle head and flaring out too much the elbows. So please, hope that you guys enjoyed, and see you. Bye bye.